Hey everyone, welcome back. So I was just about to sit down, but this training here is about standing poses. So I'm assuming that you have already taught all your warm up poses from the last video, and now you're moving into standing. So I'm going to show you a few different poses that you can do with your prenatal mamas, and I will show you how to do it with props. Okay. So the first one is very easy, Tadasana. So let me place this down here. So Tadasana is mountain pose. For prenatal moms, the stance will be a bit wider. So have the moms stand in a way that they feel very supported and stable. In this pose, you can bring awareness to each of the mom's alignment. So you would start cueing from the ground up, okay? And the reason with that for all poses throughout your whole class is that the ground is a foundation. So you want the moms to feel very, stable in the ground, and then you can cue up. So an example of this, I'm assuming that you've already taught yoga before or you're a practitioner, but I'll just go through it anyway. But you'll start cueing from the feet, telling the moms to ground down in the feet, pressing down in the feet, pulling up in the kneecaps, zipping up lower belly, okay, lifting through the heart, pushing through the crown of the head, relaxing the shoulders down and back, and relax their jaw. So once you come up with all the cues to get the moms aligned and in their body, then that's basically all you need to do, and give them a moment to feel the pose. Okay, so that's how you instruct mountain pose. Very easy pose. That pose is mainly focused on posture and alignment of the spine. Okay, and then, just like sun salutations, Urdhva Hastasana, that's a good one to do with the moms, bringing the arms up, still grounding through the feet. Feet are still hip distance or wider if need be. Then we'll move into forward fold, standing forward fold. So for the moms to do forward fold, I like to have the blocks underneath the palms so that they have some support. Allow the moms to bend the knees if the hamstrings are sticky. Okay, and same thing with forward fold standing. Stance is as wide as they need to feel stable. Okay, the next one is Trikonasana. So Trikonasana, I love using you can use the wall, pressing the back foot against the wall here to give them some stability. And with the block, so pretend there's a wall here, the block, you want them to go to the highest setting. I always tell moms to go in the highest setting, and then if they need to drop it down low because they need some extra, they drop it down low. Okay, reaching the arm up, gazing up towards the sky or down at the block. That's how you do Trikonasana and prenatal yoga, or in any class, quite frankly. Okay, the next one is Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Same thing like Trikonasana. You can have the moms have their back foot against a wall. Okay, I'm using a block here, but back foot against the wall. Now, if they have some inner thigh, groin pain, they're going to make their Warrior 2 shorter. Whatever you do or instruct them or whatever the mom is doing, shorter or wider, depending how they like, make sure that their knee is going over middle toe, okay? And pretend there's a wall here, they can hold onto the wall and reach the arm nice and long. That will give them support in Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Next pose, Virabhadrasana 1, same thing. Warrior 1, back foot against the wall, arms up, okay? Next pose, extended side angle pose, Utthita Parsva Konasana. This one you can also have the foot against a wall, the back foot against a wall. I'm going to change sides just so I'm not crooked, but pretend this block is a wall. You're going to have their foot against the wall, the back foot against the wall. Then you'll use the other block as a way to bring the floor closer to them. Okay, so they'll have the palm, they can teepee the fingertips, drop the palm down, maybe they just reach the right arm up towards the sky. If it's okay for their shoulder, maybe they sweep the arm up and over the ear. All right. And in that pose, you want to cue in warrior one, warrior two, side angle pose, trikonasana, parsvakonasana, to hug baby in. Okay. So not letting the core kind of hang loose. You want to hug baby in, keep that tight. Okay. That will help with balance as well. Okay. Goddess pose. Goddess pose, very easy. They can also use a wall behind them if they're kind of out of, if they feel like they need some more support. Goddess pose can be as deep as they like or as light as they like. Okay. And one great goddess pose that you can do with the block is have them bend forward, relax their body down, and have the legs in goddess pose. That will feel really good in their lower back. That's something that you can add. All right. Um, Tree pose. Tree pose, they can use a block. Maybe tree pose for them is here. Okay? That's all good. Maybe tree pose for them is here on the balls of their foot. That's a way you can use tree pose with a block for prenatal. Then you can also add a wall that they can hold on to. Okay? So holding onto the wall if they need some extra support. Chair pose. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Sometimes in a vinyasa class, they'll say bring the feet close together. But for prenatal, I say bring them as far apart as they need so they feel stable. And they can go as deep or as shallow as they want with chair pose. And sometimes bringing a block in between the legs for chair pose is nice. You can add some inner thigh action up in there. And if they need it to be skinnier, you just move the block as they see fit. Okay, or you can use a blanket in between the knees. All right, and then Malasana. Malasana is great for pelvic floor exercise. So once you arrive into your pelvic floor exercise, have the moms come into the squat, have them sit on a block and adjust the block as they see fit, okay? It could be lower, higher, but they're gonna be here. And this is a great pose for them to practice their pelvic floor. Mhm. Okay. Okay. You can also use one of the balancing poses here with the strap. Okay. This one's called Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. Okay. That's kind of long, but the moms will hold onto a wall. You put the strap on the ball of the foot, and then maybe this is their pose for today. Okay. Or they can straighten the leg. And then from here, they can swing it out to the side. Okay. That's one of the poses that you can do standing. And then warrior three, Virabhadrasana 3. I would say always tell the ladies to have the blocks there. They can use the blocks for warrior three. Maybe they start with one arm, then the other for warrior three. Or you can do warrior three against the wall. Warrior three is super hard, so they will get the maximum workout out of that one. So having them use the wall, two hands to the wall, reach the foot back. And that will strengthen the outer hips. And that strengthening the outer hips for some of them will relieve some back pain and then help hold baby in as the baby gets a little bit bigger. Okay, Anjana Asana pose, high crescent lunge and low crescent lunge. High crescent lunge, always tell them to instruct that the width of their high crescent lunge is nice and wide so they can keep the balance. They can hold onto the wall. So stepping that foot really wide and the other foot really wide. And then arms up, high crescent lunge. Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Okay, or Ardha Anjaneyasana. You can drop the knees down. Blanket underneath the knee. Okay, if they have sensitive knees. All right, arms up. And if they have round ligament pain, they may or may not want to do this. If they want to stretch out the front of the hips, they can do it, or they can back up off it and just have the front of the hip perpendicular to the earth. But if they want more, You can step the foot further forward and wide, then push the hips forward, arms up. Okay, all right. And dancer's pose. Dancer's pose is a fun one for prenatal. Some of them will want to do it, some of them won't, but you can also incorporate that. Make sure ladies have the wall close to them. They can hold on to the wall, hook onto the toe, and maybe this is what their dancer pose looks like for prenatal, or they can come forward into the full expression. Up to them, but that's a fun one to do in class as well. And these are not the full extent of standing poses. You can incorporate many standing poses into your yoga sequence, just kind of depends on your students and how they're feeling. But if you have a question on how to modify a standing pose for prenatal women, or if you want to add one and you're not sure if it's okay for prenatal women, feel free to leave a comment, email me, and I will let you know. With that being said, that's it. And then the next section that we will work on is seated poses. Okay, and then the one after that will be pelvic floor exercise. Yeah, so catch you later.